was recently interviewed by my friend Amelia. I'll actually link her post down below, and she asked me a really interesting question. She said, if you could dispel any myth about zero waste, what would it be? And I would actually like to tell people that zero waste is not expensive, because I don't know where people got the idea that it is. So in this video, I wanted to share with you how zero waste has actually saved me money. My name is Manuela, and I am the girl gone green. I'm here to spread sustainability and conscious living. If you enjoyed this video, click that red subscribe button to get notified when I upload a new one, and give this video a thumbs up. So we're letting this video just kind of be a rant, so we're just gonna roll with it. But zero waste is not expensive. It's actually saved me a ton of money. So the first things first is you buy a whole lot less things. I'm a minimalist, but even if I wasn't a minimalist, the zero waste lifestyle is very minimal, and I think the two lifestyles go really well together. So the less stuff you buy, the more you save. So think about it. If you're zero waste, you don't really buy a bunch of excess. You buy only really what you need from the supermarket because you're trying to avoid food waste. And so you're not buying all the stuff that's gonna go bad, so you're not spending all this money. In addition, you're also buying a small amount from the bulk bins instead of buying like huge amounts that are gonna go bad. And then you're just buying less of the stupid things like paper towels, paper plates. All that stuff adds up really quickly. So by reducing your waste, you're actually saving money. So now I know what you're thinking. A lot of swaps are really expensive. In fact, a lot of the items that I mentioned in yesterday's video are pretty expensive investments. But this is like a one-time investment that saves you a ton of money in the long run. My water bottle was about $20, which I think is on like the higher end of water bottles. Think about how much money you spend with plastic water bottles. Like how much money you're spending every week buying these bottles for your kids or your coworkers, etc. It gets really expensive. So that $20 water bottle really isn't a lot in the long run. In addition, think about things like menstrual cups, which I mentioned in yesterday's video as well. That's a one-time investment. It might be really expensive, but every month you don't have to go out and buy these really expensive tampons. You just have like a one-time menstrual cup. So there are a bunch of different swaps that might seem really expensive at first, but really aren't. The next thing I really wanted to mention is the fact that you don't have to go out and buy all this stuff. Now I know it looks nice and it's very aesthetically pleasing to have all these metal and glass like containers, but seriously guys, just stick with the things you have already. You don't need to go out and buy a ton of new things. Use what you have in your house and you'll save a ton of money. Don't go out and buy a ton of metal Tupperware and things at first. Just slowly transition because there's no real need for it. So also, a really interesting thing, if you reduce your waste to an extreme, which you probably won't, you could actually just stop paying for your garbage curbside because you don't even have to have a garbage can to begin with. So just little things. But in general, a lot of items I make myself, a lot of items I buy secondhand, so that's just really helped me reduce how much all this costs. So to recap this little tangent, you buy a lot less stuff and you don't need all this fancy equipment. So I'm gonna leave it at that. Zero waste is not expensive. I hope this has kind of inspired you to think that you don't need all this criteria to be a zero waster. I don't even think you need to be zero waste to be zero waste. So I hope this helped you. I'm gonna leave it at that. There are a lot of people staring at me right now. I had a lot of interesting times here at the park. So I hope you had a great day. For now, don't forget to live sustainably and consciously, and I will see you in my next video. Well, how am I doing?
How you doing?
How am I actually doing?
You doing good?
Are you doing good?
Doing great.
Am I doing good?
Doing great.
I'm doing fine?
Doing great.
Alright, we're winging it.